Hi everyone, it's Sarah or LavilyDay here with another video. Today I'm going to be attempting to make an MSD sized diorama for Ava. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you'll possibly remember this diorama here that I made not all that long ago. It's huge and it's for my SD size dolls. Now, although Ava looks totally fine in it for sake of photos and all that, she is undeniably quite a lot smaller than the others. At the end of last year, I was able to get a bunch of these boards. They're actually old campaign poster things, but I got them for free, so no complaints there. If you haven't seen this type of board before, it's plastic, and as far as I know, it's called coreflute. You can buy sheets separately at stationery stores and the like. I have bought some from Warehouse Stationery before, but if you don't want to do that and you are lucky enough to find some like this, you can get them for free. I just want to say one more thing before I get started, and that is that I don't really intend for this video to be a tutorial. However, I will be doing my best to show you everything that I do, so if it works out, feel free to follow what I do. But no promises they'll work, but I'll be doing my best. In theory, I've got enough boards here to attempt a two-story diorama, which sounds pretty awesome in my head. My main concern about that is that these boards do have the tendency to bow, and resin dolls, any dolls like this, are reasonably heavy, and I don't want to have to worry about their safety whilst in the diorama. And then aside from the dolls themselves, there's also the furniture that you have to think about that will also weigh a significant amount. So to counter that, I have got enough to use at least 2 boards for the floor. There's still no guarantee that will work, but I'll do my best. I have 6 boards that are still at their original length. I'll measure them and put the dimensions up on screen somewhere so you can see. And then I have 4 that I've already cut down to squares using just a craft knife, and these will be the outer sides of the diorama. To put it really simply, the game plan is just to lay those out in kind of like a flat net, like you would see when making a 3D shape out of paper, and then connect the edges using this. No particular reason that it's this tape, I just quite like it. I find that it doesn't leave a sticky residue, is easy to peel off, is kind of flexible but also really secure. It's PVC duct tape, although I just think of it as insulation tape. White would have been better, but I was only able to find black. It shouldn't be visible from the inside of the diorama, so it really doesn't matter what color it is, but I would have liked for it to be white. So that's the plan, except I did manage to find a couple of flooring and wall options that I think I'm going to give a go. And to make it easier on myself, I'm actually going to attempt to apply this walling and flooring or whatever before I assemble the bits. This here is self-adhesive liner. I think it's intended for the inside of drawers. I have 4 rolls here, which is probably way more than I'll need, but I wanted to be sure that I would have enough. This is one of my flooring options, and it's reasonably easy to find this stuff. I got these rolls in particular at Uncle Bill's, but I would think that you could find this sort of stuff at any old craft or Home Depot type store. From memory, each roll cost about $2, but I could be wrong. It certainly wasn't more than $3 each, so it's a pretty good and cheap option. Another thing I have found is this adhesive wallpaper, and I know it looks giant and heavy duty and whatever, but this one was 63 cents and this one was 94 cents. I really lucked out. They've got a bit of a weird texture pattern going on, but for however many cents each, I couldn't say no. The more expensive one is slightly darker than the cheaper one. It may or may not be showing up on camera. I found these at Bunnings and am so happy that I found them, and even if they don't work and it flops, I paid next to nothing for them. The last thing I picked up you possibly have already noticed, but it's this floor mat, and I paid $10 I think for this from Uncle Bill's. It's just a carpet floor mat. It's pretty much the perfect size for what will be my base. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to cut the corners or try and trim this bit off. That might be a terrible idea, it might just make it unravel, I'm not sure, but it's a pretty good fit either way, so I'm tempted to give it a go. So that's all of the stuff I have. All that's left is to try and put it together. I think I'm going to start with the walls. I'll unroll this and see what we're in for. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing down here, but I've unrolled it a bit and discovered that it's quite opaque. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it on the printed side of this board. On closer inspection, I can confirm that this is not sticky as I had originally thought. I'm not sure where I got that thought from. Maybe just because it has vinyl in the title of what it is, I associate the vinyl with sticky for some reason. It's not sticky, so that means we need to approach this slightly differently, and that means glue. But can I be bothered waiting for glue to dry? I kind of don't have time to deal with glue, but screw it, let's just give it a go. This is the biggest paintbrush I can find, and this Mod Podge is the best glue I have for this, I think, so we're gonna go with that. Let the glue painting begin. Here's hoping it sticks. There's definitely some crinkling happening on the side I just stuck down. Hopefully that'll iron out. I'm honestly not hopeful, but I'm gonna put the other side on. Hopefully I can make it line up without too much trouble. No, Ava! So sorry. I don't know if you can see, but it's definitely got some crinkles going on, and it's most certainly not dry yet. There is a bit in the corner that I didn't cover, but I'm sure I can hide it. It'll be fine. Now I'm just going to figure out a way to put this under something so that it will hopefully have less crinkles. I don't like it, but I'm committed at this point, so I guess we keep going. Wait, damn it! The next bit's meant to be a square! Oh no, I'm an idiot! Do I just cut it? It'll be too much trouble otherwise, and I've already put the glue on. I'm just going to cut this one to a square. That'll be okay. Okay, I've coated all of the walls. Still not really feeling it, if I'm being honest, but I trimmed the edges of this one. This edge didn't really work out very tightly, but I'm hoping I'll be able to cover that, and I'm just about to start trimming the edges of the squares. Let's get that out of the way. All the walls are done. The glue isn't exactly dry on all of them, but I'm running short on time, so I'm just going to set up my net so that I can tape them together. You know what, I'm going to blast them with my hairdryer. Might not do anything, but in my head it will. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these face down and then use my PVC tape to tape along the back. And then when I open it back up, it should be exactly where I want it to be. Okay, looking good so far. I haven't taped the backs properly yet because I wanted to check that this actually would work first. And it seems like it might. So I'm gonna flatten them back out and put tape right along the back edge just to make them as secure as possible. Okay, before I fold it completely, I need the floor to be attached to my net. Now I've got a couple of options here, whether I put on this flooring or the carpet, and I'm inclined to go for the carpet. I think that's something I could apply later quite easily, and I have to go somewhere very soon, so I think I'm just going to attach a plain piece for the floor and hopefully it'll go okay. Alrighty, I hope you can see what we've got going on in front of us here. So this is what I was meaning by a net. So it's essentially a flat thing that's going to fold into a 3D object, aka our diorama. In a minute I'm going to be lifting this up, trying to swing this bit around to the floor. But actually when I do that, I want to make sure that the material doesn't do anything too weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure that if it's got any bits sticking out, that they go into the fold. When and if I get around to putting carpet on, this will be covered anyway, but for now it's just an easy way to get a good looking seam. And there we have that, and not looking all that bad. Now I'm just going to do the same thing with either side. It's going to be a bit fiddly because once I get them there, I'm going to want to secure the bottom of this to the bottom of my floor. We'll just see how that goes. Now this tape is quite stretchy, so it does make it quite a firm and secure corner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bend it further than where I want it to end up, and hopefully that'll make it more likely to want to stay there. Now, as much as I want to tape this end now, I kind of can't until I get the other one done. I'm just going to lift up the bottom slightly and just taping that on. Okay, to the other side. Okay, well, I'm not even mad. This is looking okay. I'm going to find a way to flip this over. I'm thinking I'll probably prop it up on a chair. Yeah, hopefully then with it upside down, I'll be able to tape along here properly. Okay, there was literally no point in that because it's not even, the chair's not even high enough. I'm just gonna put this chair back and get on with the taping. Okay, I'm noticing that my camera is dying, but I want to show you this before it dies. So I've taped it all together and it's surprisingly secure. I'm pretty happy about that. So a couple of the wall edges are a little bit touch and go, but we have a box. I'm gonna have to leave it here for now because I am heading out, but I'll have time later tonight to attempt to chuck some carpet on this, chuck Ava in here, and hopefully have something that resembles somewhat of a finished diorama. Okay, I'm back and I think it's looking pretty good. What I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the edge of this mat. I've actually already started. It's not as hard as I thought. I'm just using my regular scissors We'll have to wait and see how well it actually fits and works with the diorama, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So yeah, cutting this out as quickly as I can. Okay, I trimmed the mat around 3 of the sides. I cut one side in quite a bit so that it would fit, but I still had a couple of weird things in the corners, weird gaps. So I just used the bit I'd cut off and cut little pieces to fill in the gaps, and I think it worked quite well. I don't know if you can see, but in this corner there is still a gap. It kind of just worked out that way. I haven't cut the border at the front because if I did, I feel like it would just make more of a mess, I don't know. At this point, I could honestly say that I'm done. I am considering putting a roof on it for no other reason than to keep the sides in. They are bowing out slightly, and I feel like if I put a roof on it, it would make it obviously more like a box and more secure as a result. The problem with putting a roof on it now is that it's going to make it really dark, because you can see how much it's bowed just from me doing this, because it's the same size as the bottom and yet it's pulled out quite a bit. So I think I am going to put a lid on it. Yeah, screw it, I'm going to give it a roof. Alrighty, so I think it's looking pretty good. As I thought, this material is prone to bowing just because it can't really support its own weight. If I don't put another one on top, it is better. Definitely gonna have to do something about this though, because I just don't want to have to see that all the time. So for now I am gonna put that on top. The added weight does just make the sides bow a bit, but it is definitely stronger with the roof, I think. It could probably benefit from like a pole here. I don't know how I would do that. I have got some PVC pipe. I could put something like that in the middle. It would get in the way though, so I'm not too sure there. Alternatively, I was thinking about putting like a couple of triangle braces here. I feel like that would also get in my way. Maybe if I eventually make furniture for it, I could do it in a way that the furniture supports it. I'm not sure. If you've got any suggestions, feel free to throw them my way. It might end up that the best thing is to just take the roof off and live with the slightly bowed sides. But it's about time that I set it up best I can and put Ava in it. I'm going to move my camera down so you can actually see and hear a bit better and see what we can do. I don't know about you, but I think this is pretty cute. It is quite dark in there without my ring light. My ring light is very much illuminating it right now. I'm hesitant about attempting to give it a second story, mainly because I only have one MSD doll and that's Ava, and I feel like the best thing about dioramas is being able to have them set up with a doll in them, she can only be on one floor at once, so yeah. But for argument's sake, even if I just put Ava's stand on, it sags quite a bit. I don't quite feel great about that. At this point, I think what I'm probably going to do is maybe remove the roof but halve it so that it still gets the support but it still lets light in as well. In case it's not clear, what I mean by that is taking one of the big sheets, which is totally blowing out my camera right now, cutting it in half this way and then only attaching it to the back. But the good thing about it is it's so light and so easy to move that I could definitely see myself putting this on a table. It's a bit awkward setting it up on the ground, and if I'm going to be taking pictures for extended periods of time, I would like it if it was a little bit easier on myself, so yeah. But for sake of this video right now, I do think I'm done. It's quite late, it's Saturday, I've got to get this edited and uploaded in time for tomorrow morning. I really hope that this video has been interesting. Ever since I made my big diorama, which ended up costing quite a bit to make, I've wanted to figure out a way to make a much cheaper version, so that's what this is. Since I was lucky enough to get the boards for free and the wallpaper for all of 70 cents, this whole project really only cost me about $10, and $10 of that is the carpet, so definitely not a necessary expense in that way. As I showed at the very beginning, you could easily just use something like this, which is meant to cover the inside of drawers, and Duracell or book coverings could work in the same way. And if you were desperate, you could honestly even use wrapping paper. I'm sure that would be fine, and you can cover the floor or walls with pictures and mats anyway, so yeah. It's all about how you dress the box. You can make the most plain wall floor box ever and still find a way to make it look amazing. Anyway though, that really is all I have to say. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions at all, then just leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you out. If you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you joined me here. I upload a new video every weekend on Sundays. Thank you so much for watching. It has been lovely, and I'll catch you in another video sometime soon.